2022 has been a solid year for gaming. Kirby Forgotten Worlds, Triangle Strategy, Fire Emblem Three Hopes, aka Fire Emblem But Fun, Elden Ring, which I would have enjoyed if my PlayStation 4 would stop crashing, Ninja Turtles, among others that I haven't played yet. With so many games releasing, it's easy for a few to fall through the cracks, and one game that I fear many will overlook is Yurukill, the CALUMINATION game. Developed by Izanagi Games and published by Arxis Works, this is a unique blend of visual novel, puzzle, and bullet hell shooter for your PlayStation or Nintendo Switch. I played and cleared the Japanese version on the Switch, and I feel like this is one of 2022's hidden gems. Why is that? Well, grab a drink and let's take a look. Before we get into the games, it'd be killer if you subscribe to the channel and hit the bell as well for notifications on future videos. With that out of the way, let's begin. Yurukill is a game defined by its two-genre structure. You're either learning the story through the visual novel sections or blowing stuff up in the bullet hell sections. Since plot is an important part of Yurukill, we'll talk about that first. The main character is Sengoku Shunju. He wakes up in a jail cell in a massive ship. He learns that he and 5 other prisoners are drafted into the mysterious Yurukill Games, which is held on the massive amusement park Yurukill Land, a giant man-made island far away from central Japan. 6 people have been falsely accused of various crimes, ranging from murder to arson to peeping. Each team is composed of a prisoner and an executioner. The winning team will have the prisoner exonerated, and the executioner getting any wish granted. The main team is the mass murderers. Sengoku is serving 999 years in prison, which seems a bit excessive. You could have just took her life, for an arson attack that claimed 21 lives. His executioner is Rina Azami, the sole survivor of that attack who is looking for justice for her family. The other teams are the death-dealing duo, which has the twin brothers Raita Yamada and Futa? Really? That guy's name is Futa? He definitely got made fun of in high school. The Yamada bros are serving time for the murder of an elderly couple. Their executioner is Kagura Kagutsuchi, who was the grandchild of the murdered elderly couple. Next up is the Crafty Killers. The prisoner Gentoku Omura is the adopted son of the CEO of Yurukill and is a prisoner as a test of character to see if he's able to inherit the company. His executioner is mysterious Izanagi Games, who is prone to crying and definitely cries when she masturbates. The fourth team is the Sly Stalkers, where a prisoner and idol singer Hanaka Ichirin is in jail for murder of an intruder. Her partner is fat dude and idol fan Keiichi Oka, who is wearing a cow print suit and looks a bit like Dan Schneider if he parted his hair. There is no foot worship scene here, FYI. Whether that's a pro or a con is up to you. And finally, we have the Peeping Toms with Alan Poe, who's serving a whopping 2 months in the clink for, well, peeping. He talks a big game, but is hilariously incompetent at his job, kind of like Ben Sharpio. His sister Christina has giant tits and is far more competent. So yeah, Alan Poe is anime Ben Sharpio, who isn't as horrible to be around as the real deal. So, who's the winner? Who's the culprit? Play the game because this is a spoiler-free zone. The first thing that came to mind when I played Yurukill was the woefully overlooked anime Dead Man Wonderland. That anime was bloody, hilariously edgy, but awesome. It tanked in Japan, but was a cult hit in the States. Both products are similar, with the setting being prison set in a giant theme park with games that risk the prisoners' lives for the entertainment of some sick bastards. Both products have a similar premise, but different executions. I would go as far as to say Yurukill is the best Dead Man Wonderland game we'll never get. Both products do have G-cup titties, which is a good thing, but Yurukill is missing this asshole.
Idiot! War meters can blast oxidizing accelerators in excess of 20 megapascals per unit of air pressure volume, so good luck catching them off guard with the usual stick, scumbag! Oh man, and it's not even my birthday!
I've also heard that Danganronpa is kind of similar too. I remember seeing hella ads for the third game when I moved to Japan back in 2016, but the series just kind of fell off after Danganronpa 3. If anybody is a fan of the series, let me know what happened in the comments. To the credit of the game, the writing is pretty good. The characters go through development and have memorable personalities. The twists actually keep you guessing. Any information you're given is always called into question as you get deeper into the Yurukill games. It reminds me of one of my favorite quotes of all time. There are 3 sides to every story: your side, their side, and the truth. And you never see that third side. Though at Yurukill Land, you're gonna see that third side, whether you want to or not. One complaint about the game is that, for a title that talks about jails and prisons in Japan, it actually doesn't address the issues with the justice system here, or really, lack thereof. While Japan is an awesome country to live in, it's not all strong zeros and anime tits. Japan does have one of the lowest crime rates in the world. It also has one of the highest conviction rates. Basically, if you're accused of a crime here that goes to trial, you're going to jail and getting into a relationship with a rough trick named Jim. Even if the only evidence at the scene of a crime is a single strand of pubic hair, even if it vaguely relates to the crime, you better get used to prison. Yurukill could have done something to shine a light on those issues with Japan's justice system, but maybe a sequel can flesh that out more. And I do like a good fleshlight. There are 7 chapters in total in Yurukill, and each chapter goes like this. We do a bit of visual noveling, we do a bit of puzzling, we do a bit of not getting cancelled on Twitter, aka Super Smash Bros. Twitter Challenge, aka Impossible Mode, and we do a bit of shooting. The visual novel elements are pretty standard. There isn't a ton of art, just various expressions. Some scenes would have been more impactful if they were drawn instead of spoken, but that said, all the cutscenes are voiced in Japanese. You do get a handful of dialogue options, but there's no dialogue tree. Either ask questions or say something stupid and get a game over. Make no mistake, the visual novel segments are very enjoyable. At least here you can try again right away if you mess up, an ability that would be very useful in real life. You do get to see the other prisoners and how they got onto Yurukill land, and how they landed in prison to begin with. Turns out the executioners were indirect victims of the crime, so it's their chance to take vengeance. In the first 4 chapters, there's this Magi time kill thing where you have to pick your words correctly, otherwise your executioner will just off you right then and there. When these happen, it's quite an exhilarating experience. The puzzles are actually pretty fun too, mostly brain teasers that actually made me use me brain for a change. You can even get 3 hints that don't penalize you, making things easy for people like me who are just here to blow things up in a spaceship. Even when exploring the rooms of Yurukill land, the cursor always highlights something to interact with. Basically, they did everything they could to make this game as easy as possible for people who either aren't familiar with puzzle games or visual novels, or just here for the shooting action. Alright, I'm done. I can't deal with any more of this visual novel bullshit. I'm a man, I want to shoot things. Damn it! Alright, now I'm in my element, dodging stuff, using bombs, destroying everything that moves, and some things that don't move for good measure. I'm playing on the normal difficulty here, and while it does go to bullet hell at some points, I was able to clear each level on the first try without much difficulty, bar the level 4 boss and its fat ass, and the final boss, which was a huge leap in difficulty. If you're a bullet hell fan, I recommend just starting the game on the hell difficulty, but if you're here just for the story, easy shouldn't be too difficult. You do these little quizzes before the shooting levels in the main campaign, and that can net you some extra lives, which is always appreciated, because if you mess up in the other quizzes, you lose 3 lives. Yurukill giveth, Yurukill taketh. The key to scoring big points in Yurukill is being as aggressive as possible. You fill up that gauge by attacking and using your special shot by destroying bullets, so there's little reason to be conservative. There was a touch of slowdown at points, but that isn't too uncommon in these games. The shooting graphics aren't anything special either. It looks like a Dreamcast game, but that's actually a positive because the Dreamcast can make anything better. Dreamcast forever! My only problem with the shooting stage is that all the stages are a bit too short. There's a bit of level, then you fight a mini-boss, then you do it again, then on the third part you fight a multi-phase boss to clear the stage. It's not so bad in the main campaign because it's broken up by all the visual novel stuff, but trying to do a run and score attack mode, all 7 stages in a row got really repetitive. It is worth it for the boss battles, which are intense to say the least. Overall, the shooting is fun, nothing groundbreaking, but if you are familiar with these kinds of games, Yurukill isn't going to stand out. But I can see it as a way for visual novel fans or anime fans to get into the genre, better than any Toho game at any rate. Facts are facts, Toho is mid. Good music though. Just some other odds and ends here. On the technical front, Yurukill runs well during the gameplay, but some of the transitions were pretty slow. I thought the game was going to crash between the shooting and visual novel levels, and I actually did have one crash when I blasted the final boss into oblivion, forcing me to blast them back into the Shadow Realm a second time. Also, no sound test or any way to listen to the actually pretty rockin' OST, so I have to listen to the OST on YouTube like it's 2006 again. I can't go back to those days, I just can't. Yurukill feels like Izanagi Games just had 2 different games made at the same time, a random visual novel game and a bullet hell shooter, but neither of them stood on their own, so they just put the 2 together and made Yurukill. I don't think either part would have stood on their own, but together they are better than the sum of their parts. Yurukill is a solid title that I feel will get overlooked, but for those curious, a fun time awaits. It's better than a date with a booty warrior at any rate. And that's a review of Yurukill, the CALUMINATION game, finished, and I hope you enjoyed it. I really do feel like this game is going to go underneath the radar for a lot of people because it is a bullet hell shooter and a visual novel game. Two kinds of games that really aren't the focus of gamers these days. But if you are curious, if you want something different, Yurukill is extremely solid, and something different at the very least. So what I'm saying is Yurukill gets a recommendation, and I think we'll leave it at that. But yeah, not much else to say here. Yurukill was actually really good. That's why it didn't give me a whole lot of material to work with, but I hope you enjoyed the review regardless, and yeah, I think we'll just leave it at that. Anyway, guys, I'll leave some comments. Are you gonna get this game? What did you think about the review? And anything else going on in your life? Let me know down there in the comments. And while you're down there, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the bell as well for notifications on future videos. Also follow me on the social media, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok as Zmings. Hit me up on the Discord, and I'll see you in the next video. Later, everybody. Take care.